welcome to VR Fight Camp, where I try to see if my real fight camp training can translate into home VR boxing. I'm AJ, your friendly martial arts loving kicker. Beginning of 2020, I was dedicating my time to training and preparing for my first amateur fight. Then the pandemic hit and fight camp got cut short. I stumbled onto VR boxing, and surprisingly, VR boxing feels real and makes you work a sweat. So before I go back to real fight camp, why not try my hand in training in VR and prep myself for my first amateur virtual reality boxing match? So we are back again at the VR gym working the training mode of Thrill the Fight, this week using the heavy bag. So the heavy bag in this case is focusing on working on power shots and basic combos. And this is supposed to help with your punching conditioning and building up that strength and that power. And that's the main big difference in comparison to last week when we used VR Bob. So let's try this out and see how it does in doing that job. Okay, so as you guys already know, VR doesn't really allow for that physical feedback, so that really great sensation of hitting something hard and having that solid hit, you're not going to really get that back. And the thing is, with a heavy bag, that's like one of the main advantages, is that physical feedback is what actually trains you to have proper power punching and hitting, right? The lack of physical feedback kind of doesn't allow you to truly work your power shots here. Just because you don't have that recoil, you don't have that conditioning in your arms and your fists, and it lacks a lot of that stuff that you would really get from using a real life heavy bag. The VR heavy bag though is pretty good in regards to like at least giving you a gauged idea by looking at the stats board over here. But again, recommend really using a real heavy bag to develop your power shots. You can still work basic combos, gauge your distance and such, and you're kind of a little bit restricted in regards to drills where you can't really push the heavy bag away from you. But as a general training concept, I think it's still pretty cool and pretty neat. So let's take this over to reality now. Back when I was training with Hero G at Fight Camp, we used the heavy bag very often, pretty much every single time. And this is a great and versatile tool to use for both general combo work and conditioning. So let's try it out and see how it feels in comparison to the VR heavy bag. This is 10 times more satisfying to use in comparison to the VR heavy bag because you get that physical, immediate feedback, and it is so great to finally be hitting something that's solid, that's weighted. And unlike with the VR heavy bag, you can push this around. I can get in close and kind of work closer punches of the sorts. I can work angles a lot more effectively here, and you can really imagine you doing these combinations, doing these drills with a physical person, so you get the weightedness to it and kind of get adjusted that way. Whereas in the VR, you really can't do that. You're not obviously touching anything. All you get in terms of physical feedback is the vibrations in the controller, right? While this is a fantastic thing to be able to hit something as hard as you can, lay your body into it, the downside, especially if you're first new to working with a heavy bag, is that the whole satisfying feeling of hitting something as hard as you can is a trap usually for beginners, because instead of snapping your punches and really trying to make them sharp, you have a tendency to push them, and this is something I was guilty of when I was first learning how to punch with G. So oddly enough, the VR heavy bag might actually be somewhat effective in learning how to snap your punches while still trying to throw out with some power, right? Again, this is probably only if you really had any kind of training experience with a coach or just out of school of some sort. But I think the VR heavy bag might be actually a great way to work on snappiness of your punches while also being encouraged to throw with some power behind it. I'm not saying this VR heavy bag completely replaces this, because I still think this is a more effective tool. It's just that you need to be more knowledgeable, you have to be more mindful, and really into your training and what you're trying to work on when you're using a live heavy bag here. Man, nothing beats using a heavy bag over here. But this was a pretty good training session for today, but you know what makes a great training session? Training highlights. Let's go. Thank you for watching this week's episode of VR Fight Camp. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're ready for the next episode. If you guys like what I do for the channel, please consider becoming a patron where you can enjoy exclusive perks like Patreon-only Discord chats and behind the scenes. You can also check out more merch on Teespring. More links are in the description below if you'd like to support further, or check out AJKICK101.com. And again, thank you for all the support, and until next time, remember, keep on kicking, or in this case, keep on punching. Bye guys!